Welcome to Seattle Public Utilities Ask Evelyn Live. We are so excited to come to you every week, and on this show we answer your questions about recycling, compost, and other trashy topics. And I am one of your hosts. My name is Becca Fong, and I am one of the folks that brings you information about recycling and composting just a little bit better. So I'm so excited. This is episode 36. This is a little bit different from our normal format. Our episode today is called Packagepalooza. So there's a lot of packaging coming into your places right now this time of year, but always as well. Those of you who watch our show know that Pat and I always get questions about various packaging. So we are going to dive deep and we're going to do some rapid fire Q&A. But before I get into that, let me introduce my co-host.
Hey everybody, I'm Pat Kaufman. I'm the Commercial Recycling and Composting Program Manager for Seattle Public Utilities, helping businesses recycle and compost, reduce waste. That's what we do, so happy to be here.
All right, so Pat, it's Packagepalooza. I'm super excited.
I know. Is it Packaging Palooza or Packagepalooza? What do you think?
I like the second one. I like
I think it's fun, yeah.
You know, I think it rolls off the tongue a little bit better. So really quickly, I wanted to remind you guys this show is powered by your questions, which is why we're doing a Packagepalooza episode anyway, is that we get questions from you guys all the time through our social channels. So definitely thanks to those of you who sent us your packaging ideas and your pictures and your questions.
We got a couple of good ones. Those are some good suggestions. I had to go out and get a couple of things, but yeah, we're ready.
I know, we had to kind of go dig. So but definitely just a reminder, keep those things coming. Send them to us in our various social feeds. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And you can also send us questions all the time to askevelyn@seattle.gov. We love hearing from you guys. So Pat and I are going to do some rapid fire package questions. So Pat, I'm going to kick us off. All right?
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Shoot it to me.
Okay.
What do you got for packaging?
Fantastic. So this is a package that people see all the time, right? It's something that comes in the mail.
Oh, yeah.
It is plastic on the outside, and it is bubble wrap on the inside.
Right.
And then one other final thing, it's got this label on it. All right, Pat, tell us.
Very helpful. Very helpful.
Tell us.
Okay.
Where does it go?
Where does it go? This is a bubble envelope mailer from Amazon. And as the instructions indicate on the package, it's really nice having the how to recycle markings on some packaging because it is a take back option. It is not allowed in your blue bin. This shall not be put into your blue bin. If you want to dispose of it in one of your 3 bins at home, it goes in the garbage at home.
Absolutely.
But it is a material just like bubble wrap, even though it has the printed on smooth layer of plastic on the one side. It's all this kind of plastic, so it can be combined with this type of material and your wrappings, your grocery sacks, the kinds of clear or not clear but film plastics is what I'm going to say. And you can find a drop-off location, usually at one of your grocery stores in your area, but you can look at filmrecycling.com, I think it's called. And you can locate .org, sorry, and locate a collection point. So yeah, the answer is garbage in our program, recyclable in a take-back program.
Absolutely. And it says like on this, well, you got to take the label off, right?
So let's stay in the envelope. Oh yeah, that's right. It's a good point, Becca. Yeah, the label. The label makes up a big percentage of what's on that package. So to properly prepare that for the best chance of all that plastic to be recycled, peel off that paper gooey label, and then the plastic can go into that plastic take-back recycle program.
Totally.
Great. Okay. Staying in the envelope delivery department, and actually Amazon as well, what do you think of this guy? Now, these are also very common. It even has some, instructions on it from, now this is not the how to recycle one, but this one is there as well. So that's kind of a giveaway. But here's the kicker. Look what we find inside. What is this stuff here?
All
this
right.
is between the layers of the interior space and the exterior. They've padded it with it's all over the place. So what do you think? Where does it go?
So I think that where that goes is that it's mainly paper, and it looks like that inside stuff. We've seen this before. It's a little cellulose kind of like cushion bead kind of thing. So that
yeah.
can go right into your recycling. That can go into your blue
That's right.
cart at home or your blue dumpster at your apartment. So that's absolutely recyclable, just like a box. So that's a good thing to think about, though, because a lot of times mixed materials will kind of trip you up. So
That's right.
definitely.
And it's a funny material. It's kind of a cool material. It's cellulose, right? It's not plastic. Right. So when you feel it, when you touch it, it's a little different. Like I can peel them right off, and it's not. I mean, it feels like it's styrofoam or something when you look at it, but it's actually cellulose. And the cool thing about it, the way of confirming that we're good, is that it has the how to recycle symbol on it, and it has this also messaging like "recycle me like a box," you know. So anyway, they're just saying "recycle me," and it goes in the recycle bin.
Right. But it's always good to check because sometimes things are labeled a little bit, labels can be a little misleading.
All right. Speaking of labels, the paper labels on these guys, you can just leave these ones on because that doesn't hinder the recyclability of the paper product.
Exactly. All right, Pat, here's my next one.
Next up.
So I've got this plastic envelope mailer, right?
Right.
And it does say that it's reusable. You can kind of, if I needed to return something or remail it,
that's so
I could
cool.
reuse
When
that.
they put the peel off sticky on there. Right.
I could do that. But it's essentially a plastic film bag with a big old label. Yeah. Where does it go?
Okay. In its current form, it would go in the garbage.
Okay.
It is a reusable, as you noted. It has the sender of the package provides a second use peel off sealing strip, which is cool for either returning the item or reusing the pouch. I mean, you could take that and put another label over the label, or peel that label off the plastic and put your own mailing label, or use a Sharpie and just write on it, right on the address of your recipient. So it's a great reusable option, and it's a great returnable. It's very nice of the company to think about returning product while they're delivering product. Yeah.
But where does it go again?
Oh, I said it goes in the garbage. If you're going to put it in one of the 3 bins, it goes in the garbage. As plastic film, it could go to the take back program as well, just like the earlier package. But look at that big paper label. I mean, you'd have to peel that off. There's a bunch of adhesive in the reseal stripe. It's kind of like, there's a diminishing return on certain materials. If you're dealing with such a small square of plastic film and there's all these contaminants, it's probably more of a garbage item than a plastic film recycle program, because the plastic film recyclers, they really want just the pure plastic film material. They don't want any contaminants, no adhesives, no labels, no sealers. So yeah, it's pretty much a garbage item.
Okay. All right, what you got next?
Okay, my next thing is a little food packaging here. So I got it around a hamburger, a barbecue sandwich, and it's got foil on the one side and paper on the other.
All right. Well,
where does it go?
It's got to go in the trash. I mean, I really want a hamburger now.
I know, yeah. These are great wraps that they insulate well. They have the memory, but they're combined materials, right?
But it's 2 materials. It's got that foil on the outside. It's got the paper on the inside. It's got the barbecue sauce that's still on it too. So unfortunately, that's got to go in the trash. So
sounds good. Okay.
I know.
Here's a similar item. I'm going to jump to another item real quick.
Oh, you want to go to another? Go for it. Yep.
Well, I was going to combine it with this. So we had a question come in about these Pepperidge Farm brand. They have a huge, at least it's a brand new bag, but this kind of product here, the goldfish and the Milano type things. So it's the same kind of thing. It's foil and paper. What should I do with this, Becca? What is?
So, I mean, one, I'm going to say we eat a lot of goldfish at my house, and I do love some mint Milanos. Like now I want some mint Milanos. But so we've got a couple of things there. I think if you just want to take that package wholesale, it's going in the trash because it's got the foil again. It's got the paper. It's got the little cardboard. But for those of you who want to get to it, maybe get those extra cookie crumbs that are at the bottom. You want to kind of peel it apart, take out the little cardboard sleeve on the inside, take the paper on the outside, put those in the recycle, and then put the metal in the trash.
Well, now you end up with this paper wrapper, the outer wrapper, and this cardboard stand-up job on the inside. And then the internal thing, it's pretty much just like the burger wrapper. I mean, look at this. It's very similar in its material. So these are garbage for sure, but this then could be a recyclable paper.
Totally. But if you've already consumed the entire bag, potentially in one sitting, had a sugar crash, you just want to get rid of the package. If it still has the foil liner, it's going to go in the garbage. So
if it's all together, it's garbage. Okay. What do you got?
All right, Pat, I got another one. So this one I turned inside out. It usually comes with the paper on the outside. It's a mailer.
Oh, okay.
got paper on the outside and it's got bubble wrap on the inside. I can't pull them apart.
Right.
So where does this go?
Yeah, even if you try it, it's garbage. It's a combined thing, just like we were talking about the foil paper combined. Anytime manufacturers of packaging combine two materials with adhesives, it's pretty. If it's not possible to separate them, and
No,
you're
not
basically
happening.
creating a contaminated material for the separated, even
Okay.
like if you try and peel that bubble wrap off, it's going to have adhesives and fibers and everything. It just doesn't come apart.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, that's a reusable. I
Yep.
think I remember you over the summer. You showed how you put 2 or 3 of those in like some sort of bag or something. Yeah,
I stuffed them all together and I made them into a waterproof cushion for my outside
that's
bench.
right, an outdoor cushion. So you know, there's
pretty good.
reuse options. That's fun. That's crafty. But in that current form, if you're not going to be able to reuse it and change the label out and whatnot, then it is garbage as is.
Okay. All right. What you got for me next?
Okay, another food container. This one a to-go container. This was
Okay.
some barbecue we had a couple nights ago, and it's a full top. There's a lot of full tops out there. There's white ones, black ones, brown ones. There's a lot of variety in full top containers. Let me show you the labeling on the bottom. Although it's going to be backwards, you can probably still see the wording. Yeah. BioPlus Earth. That's the branding. It has also a endorsed or approved by the Green Restaurant Association, and it says it's recyclable material, or made of recycled material, I should say. What do you think? Where does it go?
All right. Well, you know, it's like brown. It's got all those green labels on it. That makes me feel good. And it's kind of leading me down the path of wanting to say it's compostable, but knowing that it's plastic lined and it does not say compostable on it, that's got to go in the trash, especially because it's still got that food residue in it. If I wanted to go after it and get that clean and let that dry, that can totally go into the recycling, just like a paper board, like frozen food box, something like that. There's a lot of fiber in there. So if I clean it like that, it's got to go in the garbage. If I clean it out, it can go in the recycle, never in the compost.
So if you just pull on these little folds, you can flatten it out really easily, and it's way easier to clean if you just make it a flat sheet, and you can just put it on the sink and wipe it right off. And then it's totally paperboard. It's just like a frozen food box. Really, it's got a thin poly coating over a lot of paperboard, a lot of fiber in there, just like frozen food, and it can then be recycled if it's clean. But yeah, a lot of misleading labeling on that one. It's so unfortunate when the manufacturers give all these like green this and green that, and you're kind of like, look for the word compostable. That was your point.
Look for the word compostable, but it was definitely leading me there for sure. Yeah. All right, I got one more package for you.
All right.
So this one is a very beautiful package. It's very pretty.
Yeah.
It's kind of a stand-up pouch like food. It's completely plastic. It's got this foil outside. It's got like a zipper pouch and a plastic lining. So it's completely plastic. It's got a big label on it. Where does it go?
In its current form, it is garbage. There's not even any preparation you can do to it to make it other than garbage, frankly. But what made me say that was the zipper. That zipper is totally reusable. I mean, you know, if you can find a need to reuse that or to reuse it as another shipping item, that's great. But yeah, a lot of those shiny metallic kind of colored things, it's just a form of plastic. It's multiple layers of different forms of plastic. It's got that adhesive, you know, that holds the zipper in place. It's got all those labels on it as well. It's gusseted, so it's a pretty strong container. But it's just, you know, that's just like any other food pouch. The pouches we showed in a previous show of like the different flour and sugar products now that come in stand-up pouches, or different snacks, you know, the trail mixes and things that come in pouches. So it's pretty much it doesn't look like it's intended for food packaging, but it's kind of like those food packaging gusseted stand-up pouches. It's a garbage item, unfortunately. Yeah.
I know. I might reuse it. It's so cute.
Yeah, it's got some great decor.
Yeah. So I'll probably reuse this for storing some stuff in.
There you go.
All right. Any more? Are we good?
I think I have a similar, you know, material, but it's another one of the mailers that we talked about. It's got multiple types of plastic, and it's not a recyclable item. So we tried to cover a lot of mailer type packaging, a few food packaging items, and just some packaged goods as well.
Absolutely. So. And so quick plug, please check out our Where Does It Go tool, seattle.gov/utilities. Where does it go? You can also type Where Does It Go Seattle into Google and it'll come up. And we've got hundreds of items listed there. So definitely check those out if you have questions. Send them our way. We love hearing from you. We did have a question here in the comments here. It said, is it possible to outlaw selling products in King County that are not recyclable? It's a big question.
Yeah, it is a huge question. That's a litigious legislative kind of thing. It would take a political will to do that. They've done it in the Bay Area. They have outlawed the sale of foam packaging. Like in Seattle, our ban on foam packaging is only a ban on the restaurants and grocers from using foam to package food and beverage, but they can still sell a sleeve of foam cups. Whereas in the Bay Area, they outlawed both. So it's a different type of legislation that we've done in the past. It's doable, but it's a bit of a process. So I'm not sure where we're at on that, but that's a good question. That's the kind of like market kind of adjustments that certain jurisdictions choose to do to try and, kind of eliminate certain waste streams from the market altogether. So we've done a little bit of that in the prepared foods space, but not in the packaging space.
And I would encourage you that if this is something you feel very strongly about, definitely contact your state legislature. They're always supporting different bills and different measures. So if this is something that you really want to stand up behind, absolutely reach out and tell them like, hey, this is something that I'm really interested in. Like, how can you help me make this a bigger thing?
There's multiple organizations, NGOs that do, plastics reduction campaigns, Zero Waste Washington, Lonely Whale, Sierra Club, Greenpeace. I mean, there's a lot of groups out there that do a lot of work around trying to reduce the amount of plastic packaging that might get into the environment.
All right.
Yeah. So
I just
want to put a plug in. Oh, you see another question? Okay, go for it.
Okay, really quickly, it says, not necessarily a packaging question, but how do you dispose of aerosol cans like Ready Whip? Also, separately, are CO2 cartridges recyclable in the blue bin? This is a great question. We actually had this come in through Ask Evelyn very recently. Yes. We just haven't done it on the show. Right. So for those aerosol cans like Ready Whip, empty all the contents out, and then the steel can absolutely go into your recycling. Right.
We want no pressure in there and no product in there. So it has to be completely emptied out. And if it's a hazardous material, like it was a Krylon paint or some sort of bug spray, those are not recyclable. Even though it's still a can, we want those to go to the HHW, the Household Hazardous Waste Program, if there's still product in there. If it's an empty container, those can go in the garbage.
Yeah, it's a great question. And then I'm thinking for the CO2 cartridges, you're talking about those little things. Yeah. They are too small to capture. They're smaller than 3 inches and fall through the sorting equipment. So those are going to have to go into the trash. Unfortunately,
now too small. You could save up a bunch of those. You could have a whole bucket of those. If they're totally empty and there's no pressure in them, then you could self-haul them as scrap metal. One could do that, but they are not accepted in the blue cart.
Exactly. And it's a really good question just really quickly at the material recovery facilities. The big dangers when you have pressurized cans is that they get compacted and smashed in the equipment and can cause explosions. So that's really the main concern. So like Pat was saying, no product, no pressure, and you just want to be really careful with that. But that Ready Whip, man, shake that baby out, squeeze the last drop out.
Eat it up, man. Put it in.
Exactly.
So these are great questions. We got a lot of great questions over the week. I just wanted to, double down on the thank you to folks out there for sending us these great ideas and questions that they had. I think we covered a lot of good material here today, and we'll keep going on that, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Really quickly, should we move to our weekly waste challenge?
Yes. Yeah, I do have one as well. You go first.
All right. So it was recycled holiday decorations. And for those of you who watch this show, fairly regularly, that and have seen at least one of my children who has decided to come and co-host with me. So we are all in on the recycled holiday decorations. So you can see one of them behind me. This is just some sticks that we got from outside, and it's bound together with twine, which is nice. So when we're done with that, we strung some lights on it. You can take the lights off, and with the twine, you can just put it into your compost cart, ready to go. Another one that's maybe kind of hard to see, but this is a little tin can luminary. Christmas trees. If it was darker, you'd be able to see that better.
Yeah, then it would light up through the little holes.
Exactly. So these were really fun. And then I got one more to share. My littlest one made this for me.
That's my favorite.
It's a little paper mache lantern, and you put some lights inside of it, and it glows. And you know, it's not a glassy baby, but it's a trashy baby.
I
It's
love
really
that.
beautiful.
Hashtag trashy baby. I love it.
And these are just like little glass jars that you can reuse. You know, even when this is done, if we get tired of it, I don't think I'm going to get tired of it for a while. This is totally recyclable. The little metal bale is attached really tightly. So these were things that were around our house and in our yard, and it's been really fun. We've got a lot of recycled decorations. So
my contribution to this thing is not necessarily that, but this is a roll of painting, like drip paper.
Oh,
You know, so it's basically brown craft paper, right? And so you can get a whole lot of it for not a lot of money, right? And I just use a little bit of holiday color and just wrap gifts, you know, with that, and just make them quick and easy. Brown paper packages, sometimes tied up with string, is fun too, right?
absolutely.
That was my one contribution.
I hadn't thought about that. I should look for that because I haven't looked for a big roll of craft paper. A lot of times I'll just, you know, take apart a paper grocery sack.
Yeah,
but,
of course.
There's also a really good article in Seattle Times that just came out about green gift wrapping that we talked to some folks at Seattle Times about that.
Yes, you did. Really good job, Becca. That was great. You had some great quotes in that article.
Thanks, Pat.
Yeah.
It was really fun. It's got great pictures, good ideas for green gift wrapping. That craft paper, I'm totally going to look for that. That you get a lot of that on that roll. So
right. I love the photos they had in that article, you know, using an old map to wrap something up, or just comic section of the newspaper. I mean, there's definitely a lot of materials around the house that one could use to wrap gifts. And I think it's fun. And also just using a sprig of, like, you know, pine cone or a little branch from a conifer tree instead of a plastic manufactured bow. Just do something natural that can go right into the compost.
Absolutely. And we'll put a link to that article in the comments below the show so you guys can have a look at that as well. So a quick reminder, we are actually going to take next week off. We hope that all of you are winding down your year. And oh yeah, rosemary. Someone put in the notes, rosemary sprigs would be fantastic.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah, get a little, yeah.
But yeah, we'll be taking next week off. And so we hope that we will miss you guys, but hope you guys will be enjoying the end of your year. And if you have questions, send them our way. We'll be happy to answer those. And
save your, you know, if you've done your holiday unwrapping of gifts, you know, save the question marks you have around certain things you've unwrapped, and save them for the show next time we get together on, I think it's the 30th of December. Will be our post mid-holiday season kind of show. But the idea is that we're going to try and tackle a few quick questions on unwrapped items. What do we do?
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Yep. Kind of unwrapping your holidays.
That's right.
So thank you guys so much. It has been really, really good to come to you guys every week. And with that, I'm Becca Fong. And remember, life's simpler with less stuff.
Hey, everybody. I'm Pat Kaufman. Remember to recycle right. We'll see you next time.
All right. Take care.
See ya. Bye.